Hi, folks. Welcome again to Talk Formula One. With me is the irrepressible OBJ. OBJ?
Hi, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Talk Formula One.
Australia and Melbourne Park.
Melbourne Park. Listen, Billy, I think I need to apologize because for the life of me, I thought we were in Austria. I got to the airport. I was just about to board the plane, and just to confirm, I got to the door. I asked the question from the hostess to say, we are going to Australia. She said, yes, we are. I said, because I need to be at the F1 track. She said, no, it's not in Austria, it's in Australia. And I'm like, I'm on the wrong plane. So it's a case of Swaziland and Switzerland. You know, that friend of mine that worked so hard to get a visa to come to Switzerland in Europe ended up
Stop
with
it, OBJ.
Swaziland.
Stop it.
He asked to be deported, and they kindly told him, "You don't deport people in Switzerland. Here, you will use the bus."
Stop
Enough
it,
of
OBJ.
that.
Melbourne Park. Let's jump into qualies. What did you think?
It was interesting. It was exciting. I think a Mercedes one, well, two and three was a good result. I think it was nice to see Lewis having provisional pole, and for 1 second, I felt that Toto farted, in thinking, bloody hell, what's going on? Lewis on pole.
Oh, well,
And
Mercedes boys aside, do you think Checo cracked under pressure? Or, what was that all
he,
about?
he must have cracked under pressure. Checo clearly is gunning for world championship. He's tired of playing second fiddle. He's pushing that car, and unfortunately, he lost the car. So he can only blame himself for that, I think.
Right. So you still think he's gonna gun for that world title? I mean, I don't see why
Absolutely.
not, but
There's no reason for him not to try.
he he
This thing is. I mean, look at how last year ended, and the comments that came from Verstappen, and Checo, which is very unlike him, the perfect gentleman. For a change, he appeared to be frustrated actually during one of the interviews and expressed some disappointment. And yeah. So yeah, we should watch this space. Watch this space.
and what about these rumors I hear about the possibility that Ricardo might be in the what do you think about that? Because I mean, hey, really?
Well, look, my stomach is churning just listening to Ricardo because, each time he drank from his shoe, I felt something was going inside of me. And I thought, do we want somebody drinking from shoes back in F1? Or maybe we should just send him a calabash or some sort and he can perhaps drink from that. So he'll be welcomed, provided he stops drinking from his shoe. That's my condition. How about that?
Well, and what about the Australian kid? And I remember his name properly this time, Oscar Pistari.
Piscario, pistachios, I'd say.
No, Pistari, OBJ, Pistari. We don't want
Yeah.
the Australians coming down on us now, do we?
Yeah, there's certainly not a pistachio. So yeah, he's making his presence felt. The way I measure Formula One, as you know, whilst I'm a fan of Formula One, I have a rather very narrow view of which drivers to follow and the ones not even waste my time with. And for me, the yardstick has always been the more I hear your name that the commentators are actually mentioning your name, then it shows that you're the person to watch. So, we seem to hear pistachios more than what we would expect. So one I think we need to
Listen, you
we need
might get done for not being politically correct.
Well, sure, you wouldn't mind. You know, pistachios are my favorite nuts, you know.
Yeah, well, so into the race,
So
what did you think?
amazing race. I was really hopeful. The two Mercedes got away really well. I was suspicious, as you might have found out, because um, I felt there was a bit of an unevenness, if there's such an English word. Um, the output from Russell's car, by contrast to Lewis's, and then when Russell's engine blew, it kind of it kind of
OBJ, there you go with your conspiracy
justified my
theory.
look, Dilly, we have this conversation all the time, and I am of the view that the teams should not be able to control the output of those cars remotely. They shouldn't be. Just like the drivers will manage their tires, the drivers should go into the season know I've got four engines and like, this is how I want to manage my power output. This is a difficult race. I need a win here. I'm going to max out my engine here. That one, it's an easy track. I can drive on this thing with my eyes closed. So I'm happy with a 60% power output. It's a Mercedes engine. That engine blew. As you know, I've driven Mercedes for virtually all my life, easily 20 plus years now. And the default on the Mercedes engine is that they give you at best 60% of output. This is why you could run those engines for 40, 50 years and up. And BMW gives you up to 95% of their engine output. That kicks in at some model, 1,500 revs, that 95% engine power kicks in. So the BMW engine, after about 5 years, you don't be surprised if you find a BM that's smoking out there. The engines are worn out. You will never find a Mercedes with a smoking engine, even at 200,000 miles. So I took the view that Mercedes really upped the engine on Russell's car, whilst they had the performance advantage, but they pushed it to the limit and that engine gave up on them. It's a Mercedes engine. That was a total engine failure. Oil getting into the combustion chamber and igniting. That is when you run your engine very close to tolerance or beyond tolerance. That's my take. Or they need to sack some mechanics that might have left some bolts loose.
Well, let's let's move along to other aspects of the race. The Ferrari boys, what did you think?
Ferrari, were they there at all? I'm not sure.
I will refresh your memory. Leclerc got taken out. Leclerc got taken out. Well, unfortunate incidents during the race. Racing incidents as usual. But I want to come to the issue of Carlos Sainz.
Carlos, yeah.
I in my personal opinion, since the race was restarted and they were all put in the positions they started from the previous restart,
yeah.
I didn't think there was any necessity for him to have been penalized. I mean, what was your take on that?
I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that happened. I really don't. I found it race generally. I'm not quite sure. Maybe this is the new Formula One and the way they want to manage it going forward. The penalty was harsh, was unreasonably harsh as far as I was concerned. And
Alonso got back third position, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't see why Sainz ended up getting penalized as he did, which eventually put him out of the points completely. I mean,
well,
really?
Unless they were trying to compensate Alonso for what happened to him in the last race, where he served his penalty and then he got penalized for incorrectly serving a penalty, and then you're like, what's going on?
The FIA they need to get their house in order, because this is just becoming a joke. One
interesting.
decision
You know,
after the other that, is it the three restarts within a race? Come on, guys,
this is why I never support the legalization of barbiturates, Indian hemp and the like of it. When you have stewards having, smoking hemp before, a race because they feel it to be a legal endeavor, then you end
You're
up with
now
decisions like
speculating,
this.
OBJ. You are speculating. You want to be careful here. Um, in all fairness, going back to, I mean, it was an exciting race. I'd be the first to say that. Because there was everything in it. I mean,
Everything you wanted, except for
yeah,
the
everything you want,
except for the
um,
restarts,
eh,
obviously.
everything you want because there was Max getting jumped by George Russell at the start and then subsequently being overtaken by, of all people, Lewis Hamilton, and
Indeed.
um yes, I felt he was a bit of a wimp, whinging about he was driven off the road. And I mean, Max, come on, grow up. This is racing. When you stick your elbows out, nobody, you've gotten away with a lot of stuff that you should have, canned for. So I mean, come on, that was
Yeah,
that was hard racing, and but yeah, and subsequently, Max passing, Lewis. I mean, really, Mercedes need to do something because
yeah, it was woeful. The path was like phew, you know, unbelievable.
you know, having said that, good signs from Mercedes because at least there was 2/10 between Max and George in qualifying. So, I mean, unlike previously where there was over half a second between
Yeah,
the Red Bulls and the Mercs. So, yeah, hopefully, we're moving in the right direction. But yeah,
well, we are moving in the right direction. Um,
McLaren's, I may add, seem to be picking it up now because, Lando pointed to the fact that, they got lucky with what happened in the race. I mean, the Alpines taking themselves out and all whatnot meant that
yeah,
they got points and all whatnot. But their car showed a bit of pace.
it did, yeah.
Be it within the midfield. And McLaren are supposed to be fighting at the top end, but hey, baby steps right now, baby steps. But yeah,
It is. I think for me, going back to the Ferraris, hence my light humor, were they in the race or were they at Melbourne or were they at the Red Bull Ring in Austria? I mean,
Austria,
so
Australia. Make up your mind.
yeah, well, this is it. Maybe just as well they didn't because I mean the Ferraris. I think I was expecting a bit more from them. From qualifying up until race day, and it's not looking. The future doesn't look bright or orange for the Ferrari team this year. So we'll
No,
see.
I think you will be surprised because um we need to bear in mind team principle change. There's been a bit of a shake-up at Ferrari, so it's bedding down time right now. So I expect them to be there and about. But I would say they were unfortunate at Australia, Melbourne,
Mm.
but
And did
watch
you?
this
I don't know
week.
if you. I don't know if you caught up on this, Daily, when the post-race interview when they handed the mic to a good old friend, to Wolf, and they asked his opinion about Hamilton being back on the podium. And I thought his comments were very suspect. Him saying that Hamilton, you know, delivered an extraordinary performance and got himself on the podium, and he qualified that. He said on merit. Now, if I was Lewis Hamilton, I would be like, that's a very sarcastic comment. because that could be interpreted in so many different ways. When you say I got onto the podium on merit, meaning that my teammate's car was a DNF. I didn't have a teammate to compete against, so this is the merit. Or I competed against other drivers and my teammates, and I beat them onto the podium, and I can justifiably claim that I got onto the podium on merit. I think that is sarcastic comment. You know, and you might get out. You might listen. Then I'm going to challenge you. Next time you watch the F1 and Lewis does anything extraordinarily significant or gets himself onto the podium, and when he mounts the podium and is being celebrated, you notice one thing. The camera finds Toto Wolff to have a snap at his face. And a lot of the time, what you find is an uncomfortable looking Toto Wolff. And my son is barely 10. And even whilst he was younger, he made the same observation. And he said, listen, Dad, why does Toto look so unhappy each time Lewis wins? And I looked at him and said, well, I haven't said anything to this boy. And if he can make those observations.
Well, he must be a chip off the old block.
I suspect, yeah.
So you have no worries there, yeah?
But no worries there, yeah. So that's me for the Austrian Grand Prix. So I'm gonna leave it over to you now. I've got a cold, so do apologize for my rather stuffy nose.
So I guess we're looking forward to Baku now, right?
Yeah, Baku, yeah.
Hopefully, given that Checo seems to be the street master, maybe he will put his challenge for that world title back on track now.
Indeed. And I think, again, ending for me, I think we are in for an exciting season, so buckle up.
Well, folks, you heard it from OBJ. In for an exciting season. I guess only time will tell.
Absolutely.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in Baku on Talk Formula One. From me, it's take care. OBJ.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Stay blessed.